Hey, it is Ginny, Learn with Ginny, and the name of this show is Let's Grow Together, where we'll dive deep into strategies, stories, and success tips for home business owners like you. My name is Ginny again, and we're going to explore actionable insights to help you grow, scale, and build your business. I did have ChatGPT help me write this intro. What do you think? I need to tweak it a little bit, hey? Anyway, so whether you're a seasoned pro or you're just starting out, this is your place to learn stuff with me. Learn with Ginny. And that's why I called it that, because I'm learning and you're learning and I'm helping you learn as I go. Because if I teach you, you can avoid some of the mistakes that I made along the way. So today, this episode, we're going to talk about content and whether it is good or not. Is all content good content? Not necessarily. So I'm going to go over 5 common tactics that might be hurting your and my reputation as we go along. Some of the things I have learned and still learning. Some of the things I learned, got over, and fixed, so you can fix it too. Okay, so number 1. Overpromising and under-delivering. So let's talk about overpromising. Overpromising is like me telling you that I am the expert in home business marketing. I'm not, by a long shot. There are lots of people that know a lot more than me. There are lots of people that know less than me. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to call myself an expert. I'm going to tell you that we're going to learn and grow together, right? But if I tell you that I'm the expert, you're going to be expecting something other than this home business mom who's just been working from her attic office over the past however many years, learning and growing. You're going to expect something way more professional and way even beyond your reach, right? So it's almost like sometimes the experts who claim to be experts who aren't really experts, if that makes any sense. Sometimes they are too aloof for us home business owners to be able to grasp what they're trying to teach. But I want to explain what I mean by overpromising and under-delivering. Let's just use an example. I've worked in the IT industry for a long time, and we're a service company. So when you call in, right away, right off the bat, our dispatch people will say, we get to your ticket within 2 business days. A lot of times we get to it sooner, but we're not going to say that because we set the expectation, unless you want to bump everybody off the list and off the schedule, which, how would you feel if you were that person, right? Oh, sorry, I got to take care of this other person whose emergency is more important or whatever. Anyway, that's beyond the point. So you set the expectation up front of what you will deliver, right? And then what you do is you over deliver. Let's use that example again, except this time, let's say I'm ordering something for you that we quoted, and I say it'll take 3 to 5 business days. And it arrives in 1 business day or 2. You're pleasantly surprised and you get your product before you expected it. That is over delivery. That's just a simple example. Here's another example. I buy a lot of stuff from gurus who, teach marketing because I like to learn all of the tactics out there. Or I try to. I can't learn them all. I'm just Ginny after all. But I'm always learning new things. I'm always buying courses and attending events and stuff like that, right? So when I buy stuff, a lot of times what they do is they not only provide the course, but then they provide all this bonus material, which is like whipped cream on top of the pie. I mean, it's like the cherry on top of the ice cream. It's the extra love that went into the pie that I made, right? It makes it extra good. So it's over delivering. Don't underdeliver. So it's damaging because people lose trust in you and your brand. Overpromising might get them in the door very quickly, but it won't lead to long-time loyalty. And I don't know if you've ever heard the term of the lifetime value of a customer. But I'll tell you what, my favorite teachers and gurus, I guarantee if they look at their list, I'm probably at the top because I buy everything, right? So they have earned my loyalty and trust. That's all there is to it. I'm a repeat buyer. I will constantly buy. I will always buy from them. It's like your favorite corner grocery. You go there because you know the people, they're friendly, or your favorite auto repair shop. I don't know. The guys that I go to, they know me by my first name. I know them by their first name. I call them and I say, "Hey, what's up? I've got this going on. When can you get me in?" I'm like very loyal to these people that I trust. So, and it's not because they have overpromised and underdelivered, because I was never disappointed in their service. So that is the point. Always overdeliver. If you're an ice cream shop, I heard the story of this ice cream shop. It's like another ice cream shop. How is that going to take off? But oh my gosh, when they do a double scoop, it's like this big. And it's like they way overdeliver. They don't underdeliver. I'm sorry, but underdelivery just is not going to get business, repeat business. People lose trust in you if you underdeliver. I think I got my point across, right? I gave you lots of examples. So number 2 is being too sales heavy. So it's constantly pushing for sales in every piece of content. It's damaging because people come to your content for value, not to be sold all the time. If they feel bombarded, they'll disengage or follow. But there's a fine line, because I have made the mistake of not ever making an offer. For example, I haven't even said what you can get from me by watching this video. So if you want a course, a free course on using AI to help you create your content, drop the word AI. Also, the other keyword I have is drop the word learn if you want to actually learn some more tactics to grow your business, make more sales, get more leads, that kind of thing. Because there's a whole academy that you can access. Plus you'd get me to create your funnel for you. So AI, learn. If you want them both, drop both words. Anyway, so there you go. I often will just talk value and deliver content to you without even thinking about making an offer. It's like, how do you make money if you don't make an offer and if you don't ever sell anything? So, I mean, it sounds silly when I say it out loud, but because I was so worried about being pushy and salesy, I would avoid the sale. It makes no sense, right? As a business owner. But yet we make it so weird. I crack myself up the way I think sometimes, And you know what? We are silly. So don't be too sales heavy. And speaking of AI, if you do get that AI course, just don't use it word for word. AI can be really salesy and really hypey, because it likes creating copy, and I think it likes hypey copy. I don't know. Whatever, but just don't use it word for word. I've said that over and over again, but I still see people using it word for word, and I can tell. I can always tell. Like when they comment on your Facebook posts, and I'm like, especially if I know the person, I'll be like, oh man, that sounds exactly like Meta. And I know it's not you. So use the ideas, but use your words. Okay? Be you. I know how weird it is, because you're always thinking about what you need, which is to get more sales and get more leads and get emailed and get, right? I understand that, because we got to make a living. But we're people. And my mentor always said, the money that you want is in the pockets of the people. So create those relationships. And I'm talking to me too. Remember, these episodes that I record are not only about you, but they're about me too. So as I learn and grow, you will learn and grow. Okay, so number 3 is jumping on every trend. Okay, I've been guilty of this too, because like on TikTok, for example, all I wanted to do, I wanted my videos to go viral. I wanted them to get thousands and thousands of views. And guess what? Those do not translate into leads and sales. They just don't, because they're not your people. So it's better to have a few loyal fans that honestly want your content and your knowledge than to have 1.1k views or whatever. It doesn't matter. I mean, that's a low number probably for virals, but you get my point, right? So chasing trends without purpose kind of seems like you're trying too hard, right? So it's a little bit about posture too. So knowing your stuff and just talking about it, I think, is much more beneficial. I don't know. This is an experiment, by the way. So this is a new tactic that I've been trying, which is making these live videos to reach you. And I have used AI to help me lay out the, what's the word? Oh my gosh, I have a blank every once in a while. The content, the table, like I tell it to lay it out, and it just outlines. That's the word, outline. Oh my goodness. Outline the topic for me. Drop AI if you want my free AI course on creating content. Okay. So, slick trends that align with your brand values and message, use them for sure, because they will help you get more attention, more views, more leads, more sales. But don't try to follow every single trend. Just use the ones that feel authentic to you and your brand. I have nothing against doing fun TikToks, because they are fun. And if they are a part of your personality, oh my gosh, use them for sure. Okay. Tactic number 4 is copying competitors. I actually had someone comment on one of my videos that, oh, well, here's the easy way to make content. You just copy somebody else's content and voila, you have content. Okay, you know what? When you first get started, and when I first got started, I did a little bit of that. And I still do. I go out there and see what other people are talking about, and I adapt their content to me and what I can teach. I never copy their content. No, I can't do it, because it's not honest, and it's not my brand. I am honest and true, and I'll help you in any way I can. But I'm not going to copy other people. Copying, well, there's copyright laws, right? So not only that, but it's damaging to your reputation, because sometimes your audience will notice that you're copying other competitors, and then they'll see you as less innovative and less creative. Well, and honestly, if they're anything like me, they will go to the source. So when I mention that I learned this stuff from someone else, I'm the type of person that goes to the source, because I want to read the OG books, the direct marketers, the original direct marketers that know what they're talking about, that have decades of experience in ads and copy and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I think you got my point. We're not going to copy competitors because of that. You can go as far as even creating or using their headlines if it is congruent with your content. Go for it if it's congruent. Otherwise, just change it up. I just made a video not too long ago. I'm going to put it in one of my courses, and I haven't figured out where to put it yet. Maybe I'll just, I don't know. But I did go over, how I take titles that are trending or titles that got a lot of views, and I make them my own, just like I did for this. 5 common content tactics that can damage your reputation. I got that from some other title, I just made it content because I knew that that's what you wanted to learn about more was content. Okay, so don't copy, but definitely use them for inspiration. Definitely. I use AI for inspiration. I use competitors for inspiration. You definitely should, because there's going to be people that are doing way better than you, way better than me. So I go out there and I use them for inspiration. If you want to use AI for inspiration, drop AI. I'll get you that free course. And if you want to learn more tactics, drop Learn. Don't forget. Okay, so the next tactic, number 5, is ignoring negative feedback. So for years I did ignore, except for my mentors. So I'm just going to clarify this a little bit to tweak it to the way I use negative feedback. Sometimes negative feedback, especially from people you don't know, you don't trust, and who don't have what you want, I do ignore those, because I want to focus on the people that have made the path for me, that have walked the path before me, that have what I want. Those are my mentors and my teachers, because they have what I want. They've already done it. So when they give me negative feedback and when they give me criticism, I'm like, oh, I'm going to pay attention to that, because they've been here before. They know the mistakes that I'm making, and they can help me correct them. So address, and then there's this fine line, because you have to check in with yourself too about how much negative feedback you can take, because some of it's toxic, and some of it, if it brings you down, then delete the comments and move on, or block them if you have to, whatever it is. Especially when they're people who have, like if you're creating videos, for example, and they're people who have never created videos, like I have nothing on their channel, and here they are commenting on yours, like they're the professionals. And it's like, okay, but I'm practicing, I'm doing something to learn and grow. So it makes no sense to take criticism and negativity from those kinds of people, right? It does make sense from the mentors that you have chosen to follow. Make sure you pay attention. Now, I will say that there are some tactics out there that I've seen marketers have a little fun with, and it's fun to watch, where they engage some of the negative feedback professionally and sometimes in a fun way that actually is helpful. And it's very entertaining and very fun to see them do that. So follow your favorite marketers and see how they respond to sometimes I'm surprised. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have even responded to that. I would have deleted the comment. But then I see their answer and I'm like, oh, that's a very good answer. So you'll have to, find the right balance for yourself. But definitely pay attention when your mentors give you criticism, because you need to pay attention to that and incorporate some of the lessons you can learn. Okay. So the 5 damaging content tactics that I went over was over-promising, being too salesy, chasing trends, copying competitors, and ignoring feedback. So make sure that you focus on building trust with your brand. We are in the home business, so it's a personal brand. So know who you are, know what your brand is, know what you represent, and be congruent with that. People will know, like, and trust you, and then they will buy from you. Cool. So this is live. I'm going to switch topics a little bit. I have 5 more common content tactics that could tank your business. That's the title of the next one. So I'm going to introduce myself again for those of you that are just popping on live. And I am Learn with Ginny. Ginny is my name. Here on this show, we dive deep into strategy, stories, and success tips for home business owners like you. I learn and you learn, and we grow and you grow. We grow together. So I'm going to give you all the advice I can on your home business and help you with the tools to help you thrive, help you get started in your business, whatever it is. Make sure you go to learnwithjenny.com, download my ultimate apps for home business. And then throughout this episode, I will drop some keywords for freebies that you can get along the way. So, do you think that all the content tactics out there, the strategies, do you think they all help your business? Well, not necessarily. Some of them can tank your business, and I've had it happen. And I probably still make some of the mistakes. So don't beat yourself up. Give yourself some grace because we're all learning and growing together. Speaking of that, if you want to learn more about business strategies to help you grow your business, and if you want to step into your business and become bigger, type learn. I'll get you into the business academy where I learn all this stuff. We can learn and grow together, and I will help you with your first funnel. I'll help you get it online. So the keyword is learn. So tactic number 1 is quantity over quality. And I've talked about this in other episodes before, but it's like you're not paying any attention to what your audience wants, right? So I'll tell you what, before I started recording this very video, I had a list of possible topics I wanted to talk about. But I went over to my channel and I looked at the analytics and I saw that most of you like the stuff when I'm talking about how to create content. So I thought, well, let's try talking about some content strategies and see if you like that too, because I'm trying to help you grow, right? So if I'm just throwing stuff out there without talking about stuff I know about, stuff I can help you with, then the quality of my content goes down because I'm just throwing stuff out. And the low quality, irrelevant, or, like super rushed content, it makes you look a little bit uncaring, right? So I'm always learning. And there are times when I use AI, for example, to help me create content. And sometimes it's easy to just use that content. I still make the mistakes. Don't worry about it. If you see some irrelevant content from me, then you know, oh, Jenny's making the same mistake. You don't have to point it out. I kind of know. So at least I see it in the rearview mirror. You always learn from your mistakes, right? So well thought out content, even if it means posting less frequently, quality is better. Now, one caveat I'm just going to say, because there are marketers that will tell you, and it's actually true, because if you're not creating any content, it's better to create irrelevant content than no content. Does that make sense? So you got to find a balance, right? Start creating content. Just get better at it. Just get better at it by listening to your audience and by seeing what they want and what they need. Keep studying, keep doing the market research, keep learning what your people need, and try to get out of your head of what you need in your business and what your perfect clients need, if that makes sense. So that brings me to number 2, which is ignoring your audience. And that's exactly what we're talking about. We have to pay attention to what the people want. And I have to keep telling myself this over and over and over and over again. My mentor is always pointing out to me that who cares about, like what I'll post something. Nobody cares about, for example, using AI to create content. They don't care about it. Who cares? But what they do care about is creating content that gets more leads, right? Leads and sales, they do care about that. They care about being stuck and not being able to come up with the words or the content that their people want. That's what they care about. So drop AI if you want to learn how I use AI to create content. is very helpful. Number 3 is being inconsistent. It's just not showing up. Being consistent is sometimes a challenge, right? Especially in our busy home business lives. We have families, we have work, we have jobs, we have all kinds of stuff going on. But consistently showing up is important. So I'm trying very hard to show up every Wednesday at 6 live to show you this stuff. So yeah, be consistent. Number 4 is posting without a strategy. Now, behind every post, there needs to be a reason. There needs to be, what do you want from your audience? So get into their heads, speak into their thoughts, and then get them to take action, right? So if you're stuck, for example, creating content and you can't think of ideas, then you definitely need my free AI course, Drop AI and Drop Learn, so you can get into the business academy that I use, so you can get more ideas galore. Tactic number 5 is too much self-promotion. I think most of us have the opposite problem anyway. So I don't think I have seen, they're not my people, the ones that are too much self-promotion, like, posting themselves on the beach in a bikini and on their laptop, it's all fake, right? Or traveling around the world and stuff like that, or private airplanes and stuff that's just not real. Anyway, that is a wrap for 5 damaging content tactics. I hope that you choose to create good content, strategic content, quality content, and engagement with your people, which means just knowing what they want. All right. All right, live people, I'm going to introduce myself one last time to the people just coming in. Welcome to Learn and Grow with Ginny. LearnWithGinny.com is my website. Here we are diving deep into strategies, stories, and success tips for your home businesses like you. I want you to succeed. I want me to succeed. Oh, there's so much out there that we need to teach our people. So whatever you're doing, come here for smart advice. And today, especially, was about content. So, excuse me. Are you trying to build your network, but finding people slipping away? So sometimes when you're networking and you're doing one of these 5 things, you actually chase people away. So networking is essential. And believe me, oh, my throat. One sec. So there are certain behaviors and tactics that do more harm than good and chase people away. What you chase after runs away. So there's an energy to that, right? So I'll just go briefly through these 5 tactics. And one is the instant pitch. Jumping straight into a sales pitch the moment you meet someone. Yeah, I totally don't respond. I run away, or here's something you can learn. Flip the script. Totally flip it. Talk about something the opposite or something totally different. It kind of, if you get them out of their script, then you actually get to talk to the person instead of the sales pitch and get to know them a little bit. And then you can find out, well, gee whiz, can we work together? Or I let the conversation flow naturally and disrupt the pattern of their script if they are the person that are pitching you right away. If you're the person pitching people right away, get out of that. You just need to talk to people. You don't know what they know. You don't know what they need until you talk to them. So number 2 is collecting contacts, but not connections. So a lot of times in the business, we say that it's a numbers game, which it is in a way. I mean, you need to meet like 100 people before you can get 10 sales, for example. But if you just treat the people like numbers and not like people, that's a problem. So don't just stack up contacts just to have the contact. Treat people like people. My mentor always says that the money you want is in the pockets of the people. Make relationships with people. The most successful people on this planet have connections with other people. And they're quality connections, right? Not just numbers of people. Number 3 is talking too much about yourself. So, well, think about it. If you're out networking with people and this person is just all they talk about is themselves and what they've done and what they've accomplished, and they have no interest whatsoever in you, it's kind of a turnoff, isn't it? People are people, and people do love to talk about themselves. So you do the opposite. You get them to talk about themselves, right? They will think it's the best conversation ever. So ask questions. Show genuine curiosity. Don't be fake. Don't just ask questions to ask questions. I remember when I first started, I learned the form methods, which is great. And it's great to start with. The form method is, ask them about their family, ask them about occupation, ask them about what they do for recreation, ask them what they want out of life, which I believe the M is mission, right? So I could be wrong about that. Motivation, the why, maybe. I can't remember now because I don't even go by it anymore, but it's a good place to start. When you're first starting, you don't know what to say and don't know what to ask, right? But be genuine. Be genuinely interested. Don't just look. Okay, so here's a mistake that I've made over and over again. Okay, so we would go to people's Facebook profiles, right? And look at them. And I would literally be trying so hard to find something to talk to them about instead of being genuine and noticing something and oh, you're from the UP of Michigan too? Oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah. I love Lake Superior. That's for real because I really do love Lake Superior and it really did catch my eye, if that makes sense. Drop the agenda, in other words. Number 4 is lack of personalization, which, impersonal messages and introductions, if they feel like copy and paste templates, which I've used. And you know what? I know they're helpful, especially in the beginning when you're first getting started. I've used them a lot. And I've been called out on it too. How's this copy and paste tactic working for you? And I'm like, actually, it's working pretty good, which is true because it was what I had. It's the tools you have. So use the tools you have. And if you have to copy and paste at first, do it. But as you grow, learn how to personalize it a little bit. Mention some specific things about them that something that interests you authentically, or their recent work. It just shows that you're paying attention to who they are as an individual. And then the last one is following up too aggressively. One of my favorite gurus has a crazy follow-up. Literally follow up till they die. So some people do believe in that there isn't too much follow-up, but hounding them can be overwhelming. So in his tactic, actually, he backs off slowly so that it becomes once a month, maybe check in, that kind of thing. I don't even remember the whole scenario, but he's very cool. If you want to learn cold market tactics, that he's the guy to learn it from. But follow up politely. Give the other person some space, right? Be patient. Good relationships take time to grow. That concludes 5 harmful networking tactics, which are instant pitch, collecting contacts, in other words, just collecting numbers, talking too much about yourself, and lacking personalization and aggressive follow-up. I hope you learned something. There are some things in here that I can learn from. So